Hello friends of the electrified charging fun and welcome to Electrified Speicher, your channel all around Skoda's e-mobility. My name is Matthias and with me here are two new ENYAQ facelift models. On this side you have the SUV variant and on this side you have the Coupé variant. The ENYAQ is a bestseller in Skoda's portfolio even for the whole Volkswagen group. Since its market launch back in November 2020, they sold over 250,000 ENYAQs. And with my channel, since that market launch, I am with the ENYAQ. Nearly 200 videos solely made for the ENYAQ, with the ENYAQ and for you, my community, are on this channel right now. Of course, I am here when the new facelift will hit the market and to bring all the information to you. And this is not the first facelift of the ENYAQ. We had the technical facelift back with the model year 2024. This is more an optical facelift. Yet, it is also a great facelift like the one before, and we will now explore every detail and all the things they changed with the ENYAQ facelift here in the studio. Now, let's go. Let's start with the exterior of the new ENYAQ facelift, and basically the most changes were done to the front of the car, as you see here. Now you are looking at the SUV variant, and let's move over to the Coupé variant of this car. And whilst it seems that they are equal, there's a small difference I will show you in a minute. But let's stick with the SUV for a while and have a look at that new front. Well, the most obvious thing is the new tech deck, which we already know from the L-Rock. The only difference to the L-Rock is that you get that light band as an additional equipment starting from the beginning of the ENYAQ, while at the L-Rock it is reserved for the first edition and will only be later available to all L-Rocks. Also, we have the same lighting as the L-Rock, so they splitted the front headlights into two parts. You have this upper part with those four segments here, and the lower part here with matrix LED. And they've updated the matrix LED from 24 LED segments to 36 elements, so basically 50% more. The angle of the tech deck and the design of the tech deck is the same as the L-Rock. Now let's move down a bit and you see the new air intake down here with a complete new design compared to the old ENYAQ, and these air curtains at the side for more aerodynamics. Another thing you might already see is this application here. This is called dark chrome and it is new with the model with the ENYAQ facelift. This is with all ENYAQ versions of the SUV. I'll show you when we look at the side. And now for that small difference of the Coupé. If you look closely down here to the air intake, you will see it exactly. Down here, this little line, which seems to be another air intake, but isn't. There's hard plastic behind it. But this is the design difference between Coupé and SUV at the front. The color here, by the way, is called olive green. It's a really dark green, so basically it seems to be an olive green, whilst over there we have the white color. Now let's move to the side of the ENYAQ facelift, and basically you will be a bit disappointed if you hoped for a lot of changes. But as with every other facelift, don't change the metal. You change the plastic parts, you change the details. You see the same line here as with the old ENYAQ. There is no big changes here. Also, this one is like the same ENYAQ, but one detail you should have already noticed. Again, they put dark chrome. All those parts here are in dark chrome, and down here there's also dark chrome. You see it's not throughoutly painted. Down there is a black plastic line. All ENYAQ SUV variants have that dark chrome here as well in the standard edition and with every paint job you could have on the car. And if we now move over to the Coupé, well, you see again a difference, because only with the Coupé you get those plastic parts down there painted in the color of the body of the car. So on the Coupé it's always the same color, whilst on the SUV it's always B color. Now let's talk about the new rear of the ENYAQ, or should I better say the old rear, because there are no much changes here. You see, it's basically the same ENYAQ as before, but some things has changed. And one very important thing you will notice directly is the tail light here. The new tail light also has the same 4 segments up here like the front light, and another one here framing this famous C shape of the current design language. This might not be perfect modern solid, but it's on its way there. And again, you have the new lettering on the rear, so the new Skoda ENYAQ 85 logo here, and down here at the bumper again you've got that dark chrome finish. But basically that's it. That is what changed at the rear of the ENYAQ with the facelift. And the upper part here stays the same, still the same black plastic here, no changes. And if you move over to the Coupé, well, again, you see the new tail lights. That's it. This is nearly the same tail as with the old ENYAQ. Of course, again, the lettering. The biggest difference between both cars obviously is the shape of the rear. So you've got that coupe shape right here with that giant glass roof, and over there you've got the SUV variant. Let's talk about the boot or the trunk, and basically it's kinda easy because no changes at all. At least no changes I would find here. So if you know the old ENYAQ, you know the trunk or the boot of the new ENYAQ. So let's go first with the SUV variant. Here we've got 585 liters of storage capacity, and we've got that transport package here, so you have that lower floor where you can put additional stuff. This compartment is only half its size because of the subwoofer of the sound system from Canton. Got all these gimmicks like those hooks up here and everything you need, like this cover here, which can easily be operated, but there are no changes. The only thing which will come is a QR code somewhere here, which will explain how to use the trunk or boot and all of its options like we know from the Elrock. And with that, let's move over to the Coupé, and again, you guessed it, no changes at all. We are here looking at 570 liters of storage capacity due to the size of the Coupé and the body. No changes at all. You've got the same gimmicks like in the SUV. But if you've got the transport package and we look down here, you see a difference. This one is way thinner than in the SUV, and the compartments down here are way larger. You can fit way more stuff in here. Why is it? Well, let's have a look at how high the car is where you could load it, and then you will see that the Coupé is way higher than the SUV, and this basically explains all the difference here. So this should be it for the boot and the trunk. Now let's have a look at the interior. And if you hoped for a lot of changes, well, they are not there. And one really good thing here is that we have 2 cars with different design selections. This one here is Design Selection Eco Suite. And if you look at this, it's this brown leather in here and this new covers up here, which are now matte and are not more shiny anymore. And we've got the dark chrome again here. But then, if you look at the door, this is the same as with the ENYAQ before. No real changes here at the door. Nor will you find a lot of changes in the inside. Well, first let's have a look at the design selection. And here you go again, dark chrome and the new cover. Throughout the complete car, you see now that brownish EcoSuite leather here in the car, and the changes within the car are here. We know this already from the Elrock. No more glossy black painting here. It's also the new matte one, the dark chrome also here. And well, the biggest change, this should be this. The steering wheel. You still have the same display here in the front. You still have the same head-up display here, and you still have the same main central display here. Also up here, no real changes were made. There's also one change I would like to mention down here. No, not the buttons here, still the same. Down here. Now these USB ports provide 45 watts and the wireless charging here, maybe you can see it like this. There is some air cooling built in to keep your phone at better temperatures when using it. Now let's move to the rear of the car. What you've now heard is the new exit tone when you leave the ENYAQ, but again, look at this. You don't see any changes. Yes, the nice Echo Suite in brownish leather, but if you look inside here, you don't see any big difference. But is this really necessary to change the interior that much? I don't think so. It still looks very modern and it is a really relaxed and pleasure place to drive. What do you think? Write me in the comments. Oh, before I forget, of course, you still got the sunroof up here. Now let's have a quick look at the other design selection here in the Coupé, and this is Design Selection Launch. This is a new design selection we didn't have before in the ENYAQ, and it's made of this Alcantara suede leather thingy in gray, and it got that fancy new covers up here in black with those inlays. I kind of like it. It looks quite cool. Of course, dark chrome again, and now let's have a look inside. I don't need to explain you anything here because basically it's the same as in the SUV, simply to look at all the design with the Design Selection Launch. Seats are quite comfy, as always. I love this gray-greenish color they put here. It really looks kind of nice. Now let's move also to the rear to have another look how it looks for the passengers here. And as with the SUV, not to forget, you've got that big not openable glass roof in the Coupé as before. Let's talk a bit about data, facts and figures. Well, basically the new ENYAQ comes with two battery sizes, so there will be no more 50. There's only the 60 and the 85. So you get either 85 kilowatt hours or 77 kilowatt hours. And there is no change to the battery when it comes to this facelift. It's still the same battery as before. You can choose from 3 powertrains. Well, basically with the 60 you get 150 kilowatts of power rear-wheel drive, and with the 85 you can choose between 210 kilowatts rear-wheel drive or S85X with 210 kilowatts. Also, no more power, but also with a front motor so that you can have all-wheel drive. The 60 has a speed of a top speed of 160 kilometers an hour. The 85X 180 kilometers an hour. When it comes to charging, the 85X can charge up to 175 kilowatts, and that leads to 10 to 80% charge in 28 minutes. And the 60 can charge with a maximum of 165 kilowatts, which leads to 24 minutes, 10 to 80%. So this is also as before. No improvement when it comes to charging. Also, AC charging stays at 11 kilowatts. Where we have a little different, and that might make you wonder, is with the official range of these cars, because they went up a bit. But why is it? Well, it's due to the change of the front. This is more aerodynamic, especially down here at the air intake with its design and placing it closer towards the engine. Therefore, the drag coefficient of the SUV dropped from 0.26 to 0.24, and the drag coefficient of the Coupé from 0.23 to 0.22. And that leads basically to an official range of 431 kilometers with the 60, and with the 85 to 588 kilometers, and the 85X gets 559 kilometers. The Coupé, however, has some kilometers more due to the better drag coefficient. All models come, of course, with preheating. And now you might think, well, that's it. Size shouldn't have changed, but you're a bit wrong. The size of the car has changed, not much. The Coupé is now 5 millimeters longer, the SUV is now 9 millimeters longer, and this is solely due to the new front, which stands out a bit more. Also, the height is 1 millimeter higher, and I guess this is a statistical error or something because height did not change. And maybe you will even read that the wheelbase now has 1 millimeter more in size. Well, this is also, I guess, statistical error. The wheelbase did not have changed, so don't bother with that. Well, combined with your ENYAQ comes the My Skoda app, and even if not everyone is using it, maybe you should reconsider this choice when it comes to the facelift ENYAQ. Because you get basically 3 new functions in the My Skoda app with this ENYAQ. Now you get unlock and lock with the app, so no key needed, but you need to have the key with you. At least this is what I think. You can't go solely with your app. Well, that is a feature which should also be in the older ENYAQs, but is not, I think. I don't know. And another thing is that you get predictive maintenance with your app. The ENYAQ watches all its systems, and basically it will now give you a health report within the app, a better one than you have before. And the third one, that is one thing you might know from the Elrock, and if not, you can see in my Elrock test drive how it works. That is remote parking and remote memory parking. Parking your car when using the My Skoda app without sitting in the car. So you can do this when drive by of parking lots and want to get in. This is the first functionality. And the second one is if you have trained parked routes or memory parking, you can also use them remotely while not sitting in the car. Let's do a quick tour through the software here. This is software version 5.4, the same as with the Elrock. If you want to dive deeper into this software topic, please watch my Elrock test drive video, because there I took a deep dive. For those who never saw this software with the ENYAQ, well, basically you have 3 sections here. You have the upper section, the middle section, and the lower section. The middle section with this widgets is sorted by pages, and you can configure that quite easy. Just tap on it and then you can select for each slot what you want to have. You can also add new pages, like just edit it. Maybe you already saw the big plus here. You can add new ones. Then in the lower section here, you always have heating, and you've got those 4 icons in the middle, which are your favorite apps. The apps you have are here, like climate or speech assist or the seating or sound system or setup, and you can exchange those. Up here you have other favorites. You can also change them. These are more driving related features, like the position of the HUD, parking, auto hold, interior monitoring, lane assist, and what not. And one cool little new thing, which we already saw in the Elrock, is heatings here. There you can configure different heating options, and you can start them with a single tap. The button up here is for all settings around the car. And if you look at the settings of the car, well, same as we know from the old ENYAQ, and there are so many options you won't believe it. Just look at open and closing, and you can configure stuff without end. And if we jump to the assistant systems, well, you get another big list, and there is so much to configure. Just look at this. One option, and if you think, whoa, that's easy. No. Every entry has a lot of options. Therefore, I did a lot of videos on explaining how all of this works. So if you are interested in that, please look into my channel. You will find appropriate videos. And as soon as we do the drive test with the ENYAQ, I will show you more of the software. And as I said, if you can't wait, please watch my Elrock test video, because this Elrock has the same software as the ENYAQ, and basically both cars have the same feature. Now let's talk a bit about availability and models and equipment. And since this is highly market specific and my English channel is watched in Scandinavia, in UK, in Spain and in several different European countries, well, basically I think I even got 1 viewer from New Zealand. Basically I can't tell you market specific how it will be. So please wait until the configurators are up for the ENYAQ, because what you get in one country as a standard, you have to pay for in another. A version available in one country is not available in the other, so it's quite hard to tell. But let's talk about the start of ordering. You can order the ENYAQ Facelift starting tomorrow in several markets, not in all. You see again, market dependent. Talking about the first deliveries of these cars, I expect that to be March, April, May or June, something like that. Before, we won't see the ENYAQ facelift on the road, except for the driving test, which Skoda will definitely make. I'm sure about that, and I hope I will be invited. I am interested in your opinion. Well, basically, what do you think about the new design of the ENYAQ facelift? Are you happy about that? Are you more disappointed? Did you hope for more changes of the car, or is it perfectly fine and balanced? Write me down in the comments. I would love to discuss with you. And if you've got additional questions, feel free to ask. I will try to answer them all. And if you liked that video, please give it a thumbs up and consider to subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed, so you do not miss out any new video, for example on the ENYAQ facelift or on the current ENYAQ or on the L-Rock, because this is the channel all around Skoda's e-mobility. And I'm also very thankful for all the support you gave me, be it a super thanks on YouTube or a PayPal donation, or you buy something with an affiliate link down under the video, because, well, this makes it possible to drive to Mlada Boleslav to do those videos. But also, just for transparency reasons, this video is supported by Skoda. Otherwise, it would simply not be possible to record those cars here in the studio, and they paid for the hotel. So therefore, we've got that advertising video up there. And if you do not want to miss any new video on this channel, then I hope that I see you already in the next one. And until then, stay full of energy.